jentene vært kidnappet. De hadde absolutt ingen grunn til å gjøre det de gjorde.
I see that the government had taken the children away without good reason. They are stolen children.
We talked to many kids, and their main feedback to us is, why didn't you intervene earlier on?
En Suria hay una guerra, pero aquí se matan la familia.
Norway has a dark secret that's tearing families apart. In this progressive, wholesome country, hundreds of parents are fighting against the state. Fighting for the right to raise their own children. I'm on my way to meet a couple whose battle with this country's child protection services has changed their lives forever. Their babies were taken just hours after they were born.
Men at man har gledet seg så mange måneder til å se.
Natasha was due to give birth to twins.
Og sang for dem, vi snakket til dem.
Eric was about to become a new father. It was going to be one of the happiest days of their lives.
Se de jentene, og vi hadde sett dem på ultralyd og kjent alle bevegelser i magen.
But they were robbed of everything they had looked forward to when Norway's child protection service, known as Barnevernet, showed up at the hospital.
Da jenten kom, så hadde vi det veldig bra og veldig koselig på sykehuset sammen med dem. I 4 timer før barnevernet kom inn og tok dem av seg. Og da var det rett og slett egentlig bare et helvete.
Det tyngste var å komme hjem uten noen ting, og med så stor smerte. Og det en sorg og et savn ingen kan forstå.
So what reason did Barnevernet give for taking away the baby girls?
De sa at jeg hadde en diagnose, at jeg var lettere psykisk utviklingshemmet, og overhodet ikke i stand til å klare å ta vare på.
When Natasha was 13, her adoptive mother claimed she had a mental disability to get welfare payments. Barnevernet then used this fraudulent document against her.
I starten var jeg veldig lei meg for at de brukte det som et argument da, for å ta jentene. For det var jo absolutt ikke sånn jeg var.
The twins, only hours into the world, were placed in foster care. The plan for them was permanent adoption. Natasha was determined to rewrite the past. She set about proving she was a capable mother, with the help of lawyer Astrid Gulsdal.
Så gravde jeg litt, drev litt detektivarbeid, og finner ut at hun har aldri fått noen diagnose.
They ran IQ tests. The results were verified, and Natasha was diagnosed as having no intellectual disability. It would be 7 months before they knew the outcome of their case. There are many stories like Natasha and Eric's. About 1,500 children a year are removed from their parents. Between 2008 and 2013, emergency care removals increased by 70%. And while most of these are for valid reasons, a growing number of parents claim their kids were removed without cause. I've come to Trondheim to meet a group of parents. They have personal stories of losing custody of their children. Today, they're seeking advice from lawyers and psychologists on how to win their kids back.
Og så da oppgaven, for å kalle den det i grunn av å dele erfaringer, i den grad dere ønsker det, og lytte til hverandre.
Og det barnet ditt var tatt 2 dager gammelt.
Ja, fra meg, ja.
Det som farlig med det jo at det kan bli adoptert.
Yeah, we never had the chance to even prove that we were bad parents or good parents. They take her 2 days old with the risk of future neglect.
Barnevernet says they only remove kids for serious violence and abuse, children who are at immediate risk. But these parents say they've been harshly judged, told they lack parenting skills.
The house is dirty, the health is not good. There are many things that I have proved the opposite.
Og jeg tenker at uansett hvilke familier man gikk inn i Norge, så ville man finne noen feil som man fort kunne lage noen store problemer ut av.
Avdekke omsorgssvikt. Altså alt du gjør kan jo bli til omsorgssvikt. Hadde du ikke vært.
The organiser of today's meeting is a government insider turned whistleblower, Einar Salvesen. He's one of 170 professionals who petitioned the government, declaring that the child protection system is deeply flawed.
According to research, 80% of this system is working well. But then 20% is not working. And you know that's a disaster for the families and the child.
He's worked as a consultant psychologist for Barnevernet and now for parents like these.
I have had myself personal cases where I see that the government had taken the children away without good reason. It is traumatizing the children and traumatizing the family. So what shall we call that? They are stolen children, of course.
It's not just small groups of disgruntled parents accusing the system of stealing their kids. In the last few months, the battle between parents and Barnevernet has gone global. A family of Pentecostal Christians had their 5 children taken away last November. Religious communities around the world rallied in support.
We want your voice to be heard all the way to Norway. Give them back.
Echoes of a stolen generation even resonated on the streets of Brisbane.
Them back.
The Bodnariu children were taken away because of alleged smacking in the home. Protesters argue it's another weak reason for taking children away.
Stopp barnebarn! Nok nok! Nok nok! Dere ser på många folk har skadet här. Många barn som borta och skadet.
I Syria hay una guerra, pero aquí se matan la familia.
Some families feel that racial intolerance is a big part of their experience. Other countries even accuse Barnevernet of stripping children of their cultural identity.
The Czech president has lashed out at the Norwegian foster care system, comparing it to Lebensborn. That was the Nazi racial breeding program.
I think the immigrants are particularly frightened about child protection officers. They are more exposed to the child protection's interventions than other families.
So this is where you live?
Yeah. This is my house, and I've been living here for 4 months.
Samson's originally from Ethiopia, but Oslo has been home for most of his life. He moved into this small bedsit to save money, so he can keep fighting through the courts to win his kids back.
Is that you?
That's me, yeah. Yeah, that's me.
Home chasings.
Yeah.
His kids were taken away 2 years ago. Like most cases, it's not a simple story, but Samson feels at the centre of his battle is racism.
But unfortunately, there is people who misuse their power and who don't have enough knowledge of other cultures, other people, who's very judgmental. Yeah, it is very, very sad.
He became the main carer for his kids when his marriage broke down. But when the kids were living with their mum temporarily, Barnevernet turned up and took them away.
The reason they have given is that the kids need help, and the situation for the kids they are living in is not good enough. That's the reason they have given me, and that's why they had to take them from their mom. But they haven't given me any reason why they didn't consider me for the full-time custody for the kids. When I see kids on the street, when I hear especially when kids say Papa, then it's like something struck my heart. Everything reminds me of my kids, yeah.
Samson's educated, Christian, and has a good job as a social worker. In fact, he used to work for Barnevernet. But he's having a hard time convincing them that he's a good parent because of something his daughter said. She told her new foster family that her parents had spanked her at home.
The mom have admitted that she have slapped on the bottom. But in my case, I have never slapped them, never. My background plays a big matter when it comes to violence, because automatically when a person is from Africa, it's very common that people think that, oh, these people spank their kids, but that's not the case.
It's hard to know exactly what's gone on inside Samson's home. Barnevernet won't comment on individual cases, so I can only hear his side of the story. But I want to hear Barnevernet's response to these allegations of racism. I get the opportunity to ask a regional head of the Child Protection Service, Gunnar Torresen.
Gunnar!
He's dropping in to meet with former foster kids.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
What we're hearing is that children are being stolen from their parents for cultural reasons.
It's been said that Norwegian welfare is hunting for foreign children. In Norway, it's unacceptable to punish children physically, even if you come from another culture. That doesn't mean that we sort of take away all children who are physically punished. But in my opinion, the allegations in international cases are wrong.
These teenagers are discussing their thoughts on how to improve the child protection system.
Mens vi har alltid tenkt på oss selv som de som var på en måte på barnas side, de som forsvarte barna.
Gunnar accepts that the difficult process of removing kids isn't always perfect.
I have no trouble understanding that it's the worst thing that can happen to you as a parent is that your child is taken away. And I do also understand that sometimes in this very difficult process we make errors. But I do believe, after so many years in this field, that the worst mistake that the child welfare does is sometimes we wait too long to take a child out, and they have been badly hurt.
The young people that Gunnar has been talking to have lived through the child protection system. They have their own ideas on what's working and what's not.
Det jo liksom grunnen til at veldig mange ganske sinte på barnevernet, eller har liksom, typisk år handler ganske mye om den der flyttingen, liksom hasteflytting. For at gjerne så kommer det politi, og det blir fullt kaos, og du vet ingenting.
These guys are now part of an organisation called The Change Factory. Their mission is to give children a voice by sharing their experiences and knowledge with policymakers. They feel in the current debate too much focus is given to what parents say.
For veldig mange ganger sånn, det husker jeg selv også, så visste jeg hvilken muligheten som fantes der ute, sant? Hjemmet mitt var hjemmet mitt, sant? Og hvis jeg sier at jeg ønsker å flytte, så har jeg krav på det, sant? Jeg må få lov til å flytte hvis jeg ikke opplever mamma og pappa som gode.
Og jeg tror ikke det en av de 3 tingene voksne først og fremst vil si når de sier det som galt med barnevernet, så kanskje ikke det de vil si at dere samarbeidet ikke nok med barna, de samarbeidet ikke nok med oss, men det faktisk et barnevern.
These kids say it was right to move them out of home, away from abuse, neglect or violence, and say they've only heard the same from other foster kids. Violence is a serious and common reason for removing kids, but one of the grey areas seems to be the issue of spanking. Norway is listed as one of 42 countries where spanking is illegal. Australia is not on that list. Spanking refers to any sort of physical punishment. Barnevernet says it would have to be very serious for them to take kids away.
In Norway, children are not being placed under emergency decisions due to slapping or things like that. We're talking about severe deficiencies. We are talking about children who are at an immediate risk.
But psychologist and Barnevernet whistleblower Einar Salvesen says he's seen it work very differently.
In Norway today, the situation is like this, that if you spank your child will be or can be removed permanently from you, and you will see him twice a year. 2 hours under strict conditions. Or maybe 4 times a year, if you are lucky.
Og det legges alt for liten vekt på prisen det å ta et barn ut av et hjem.
New parents Natasha and Eric had their twins taken 4 hours after they were born. The case was dropped and they just got their twins back after 7 months apart.
Ikke sant? Vi har mistet mye tid med jentene. Det 7 måneder, og det ganske lang tid da. Og det liksom de første leveårene til jentene til barna som veldig, veldig viktige, og det...
Hopper seg gåsa, danser seg revet, så hopper vi, så danser vi, setter vi oss på huk. 1, 2, 3!
Jenten har vært kidnappet, og barnevernet bør si unnskyld. Det folkeskikk å si unnskyld når jeg har gjort noe gærlig, og da alle vet at det noe gærlig.
They might have their children back, but their parenting skills are now under observation. It seems like a happy ending, but I'll find out later there's more heartache to come. In any country, the removal of children makes parents angry with the system. But I want to find out more about what the experience is like for kids. One of the parents I met in Trondheim has invited me to her home to meet her children. All 6 of them. They were recently returned home after 3.5 months under Barnevernet foster care.
3.5 months they will remember forever as the toughest time in their life. I'm sure I will make them be safe again, but it will take time.
Monica has a history with the Child Protection Service. As a single mum, they've checked up on her over the years. But last November they showed up suddenly, taking the 2 youngest kids from home and 3 of her children from the classroom.
They just took the children and no warning about it, and then you are left alone.
On the same day, Monica called her eldest daughter, 16-year-old Lindita, and told her to run away, to escape Barnevernet.
My mom said run, so I was running. I was jumping on a trailer and he was driving to Poland. I was trying to call Janita and she answered the phone when they was sitting in a locked room. And I just heard her screaming. And it was really hard, because then someone was taking the phone from her hand, and the last thing I heard from her was that she was screaming. It was a very hard time with only crying every day.
Skal bli trygg igjen, og skal få slippe å ha det vondt. For det sånt bare litt å skje igjen.
Barnevernet did never go to my children and ask, how are you? What do you want? Do you need anything? Nothing. You are supposed to listen to children. And the children say, we want to go home. We want to go to mommy.
The kids were split up between 3 different foster homes. They'd never been separated from each other or their mum before and could only see her once every 2 weeks in supervised visits. This is iPhone footage of Monica and 2 of her girls on one of those visits. So why were the children taken away? There was no record of neglect or violence. Monica says she was handed a list of vague accusations.
Children are out all day long. Children are behind in school. And they were saying that the doctor had said that I am mentally sick to even take care of myself. But they are normal, happy, good, clever children.
Let it go, let it go, and the Pakistan go. Here I stand.
With the support of her doctor and the school, Monica disproved every allegation made against her. And the case was dropped.
I think I'm lucky because I get the children back after 3.5 months. I listen to people waiting 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. And I'm thinking, what if those children should have stayed in this home for 1 year, 2 years? What children do I get back?
Barnevernet has a difficult line to walk. Remove kids too swiftly and without all the evidence, they are then accused of stealing children. Wait too long and they are then accused of leaving kids in harm's way. But some say there's a bigger issue at the heart of this debate, that without change it could quickly become a dark period in Norway's history, much like the stolen generation in Australia.
Just a couple of days ago there were protests from parents saying, stop Barnevernet, they've stolen my children. What do you respond to those allegations?
It's not easy to lose the custody and the daily care of your own child, so you have to look at this in that context. But I can't comment on any of the individual cases beyond that. This case is not about the parents and what kind of noise the parents make and how loud they complain. The focus is always on the child and the best interest of the child.
Can you respond to allegations that Norway's Child Protection Services removes children for flimsy reasons?
What I can say about this is that we have a good court system in Norway, which is based on principles of a fair trial. We talk to many kids who have had a history in the child welfare services, and their main feedback to us is, why didn't you intervene earlier on? So that's the other side of this story.
As I prepare to head home, I discover that the day after my interview with Natasha and Eric, they went into hiding. They've now fled the country with their twins and are all over the news in Norway.
De siste ukene har politiet I Asker og Bærum drevet en omfattende etterforskning. De har lett etter 2 9 måneder gamle tvillinger og foreldrene deres.
They suspected Barnevernet was building a case against their parenting skills. They were afraid of losing their twins for a second time, so they are claiming asylum in Poland. They sent me this footage and told me the twins are happy and doing well. Poland is protecting them, but they are also wanted by Norwegian police for kidnapping their own children. The story of Eric and Natasha is unusual. Not all cases are this dramatic. But Barnevernet has announced a review of 200 cases to see what they can learn and improve on. Those who've been involved in these cases firsthand are worried that Norway will one day look back with shame.
Hvis vi fortsetter det sporet som vi på nå, hvor flere og flere barn blir fjernet hjemmefra, og ofte på mikroskopisk grunnlag, Så tenker jeg at om 50 år så vil man se tilbake på dette som et svart kapittel i norsk barnevernshistorie.